So hello friends, once again I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. So in previous video we have seen how we have built and deployed a Spring Boot application in local as well as in Azure pipelines. In this particular video we will see how we will build and deploy a .NET project in local system as well as in Azure pipelines. So let's get started. First we will see our today's agenda. We will see how we are going to build a .NET application in our local system. And in second we can see how we can build and deploy a .NET application on Azure pipelines. At last we will see how to build a .NET application with Azure Classic pipelines. First we will see how to build a .NET application in local system. Now we will see how we can build a .NET application in our local system. I have already downloaded .NET code in my local system. This is the sample Hello World application of .NET. I will provide GitHub link of this application in the description below. So for this particular .NET application, we need to install .NET framework in our local system. We have to go to our browser. So for our project, we need .NET 7. We need to type .NET 7 download. We have to click on first link and we can install .NET 7.0. Mine is Windows, so I am installing .NET 7.0 Windows installer. So you have to keep in mind you have to download .NET 7.0 for this particular project because this code is based on .NET 7.0, and if you will use a higher version like .NET 8, then this project will not work. My file has been downloaded. Now I will open this file. I will just click on install and you can see our .NET Framework 7.0 is being installed. It will take a while. Now our .NET 7.0 has been installed successfully in our local system. I will close this installer. I will go back to my desktop. I will open my project folder and you can see I have these files in my .NET code. I will go to .web folder. We can see we have many folders like controllers, models, object, properties, views and www root. So in order to build our .NET project, we need to open our terminal or command prompt. To check the version of .NET, we can give command .NET -- version. We can see we have installed .NET 7.0. Now we will navigate to our project folder. I will go back once and I will copy this path. I will navigate this path into my terminal. Click enter and we can see we have the same files that is present in my folder as well as my terminal. Now in order to build .NET code, we have to give .NET build command, but before that I want you to see what files or folders are being generated after compilation of our .NET code. I will go to my .web folder and you can see we have these many folders as of now, but after giving .NET build command, you can analyze that one folder will be generated and that folder will contain our artifacts or build files. I will click on enter. and you can see a bin folder has been generated right now. We can see our build has been succeeded and bin folder has been generated. Now we have to go inside the bin folder. We can see we have these many files, but the main executable or but the main artifact of our .NET project is .dll file. As we have seen in our previous video of Java Spring Boot application, we have artifact in form of .jar or war file, but in .NET we have artifact or the main executable file in the form of .dll. So we have to run this .dll file. I will navigate to this folder or path, cd, I will provide the path. Now we can view all the folder or files by giving dir command. We can see we have access to our DLL file in our terminal as well. Now we will give .NET hello world app.web.dll. Click enter and you can see our application is running right now and it is available on localhost 5000. I will copy this, go to my browser and paste the URL, click enter, and you can see our hello world.net application is up and running. So this was the local compilation of .NET application. Now we will see the same in Azure pipelines. Now we will see how we can build and deploy a .NET application on Azure pipelines. Now we will build our code in Azure pipelines. We will click on setup build and we can see we are getting this predefined template provided by Microsoft Azure as part of our ASP.NET project. We will click on first template and you can see we have been provided a YAML file generated by Microsoft Azure. I will delete all the comments. I will explain this YAML file to you. So in first we can see trigger is to main branch, that means it is taking our main branch. Then in pool section we can see we are using a Windows machine as its build agent. Then in third we can see we have some variables. So the first variable is solution and it is taking our .sln file, and if we go to our Azure repos we have one hello world app.sln file and it consists of all the configuration. Then second variable is build platform and its value is any CPU, that means it is taking any CPU to build our code in the platform. Third variable is build configuration and its value is release. Then in steps we can see the first task is NuGet tool installer @1. So this task will install NuGet tool to our build machine and it will be used to compile our code. Then the second task is NuGet command @2 and it is taking input restore solution and it is taking our solution variable and the solution variable is pointing to .sln file, that means NuGet command @2 is taking our this .sln file and it is restoring the solution. Then the next task we can see vs build @1 and we can see the properties of this task: Visual Studio build with MS build and set the Visual Studio version property, that means this task is used to build or compile our code. We can see it is taking our solution file, that .sln file, and in MS build args it is doing some tasks like deploy on build is equal to true, web publish method package as single file true, that means our all the build files will be packaged as single file. Next we can see skip invalid configurations true, and then last it is doing task package location, that means it is building our package in previous all these tasks and packaging our artifact to artifact staging directory, so we don't need to create another task and copy our build files from source directory to artifact staging directory. In this vs build task, it is already doing that thing, and after that we can see it is running some test cases, so we can skip these test cases as of now. And we already know that this vs build task is building or compiling our code and copying all my artifacts to build.artifact staging directory. So we only need to publish our artifact to pipeline. We will give the task publish artifact, click enter, and now we will save and run this pipeline. Now we can see our pipeline has been ran successfully. We can see publish artifact task has also been done. We can go to pipeline and see whether our artifacts has been published or not. And we can see all our artifacts has been published, and there is a zip folder in which our main DLL file consists. We can see also we can download this zip file. And we can see our all artifacts included in .dll file is available here. We can close this, and now our build pipeline has been completed. Now we have to release this artifact to an app service. So first we will create an app service for our release pipeline. I will go to Microsoft Azure portal and create a web app. I will provide a resource group, web app name. I will choose runtime stack as ASP.NET 7 because our project is based on ASP.NET 7 as I have stated previously. I will choose the pricing as free. Now I will review and create this scene. This is our app service and it is running, and its configuration is .NET 7.0. Now we will push our artifact from release pipeline to this app service. I will go to releases, create a new release pipeline. I will name it as .NET release. I will add artifacts. I will select my project and my pipeline. Click on add. I will add a stage. I will select predefined template as our app service deployment. Now I will view the task. So now I have to give basic configuration details like my subscription and app service name. Now I will provide our app service name. I will go to deploy Azure app service task. I will scroll down. I will just save this pipeline and click on create release, and we can see release 1 has been created. And we can see our task is in progress. It will take a while to deploy. And we can see our deployment has been completed. We can check logs also. Now I will go to my Azure app service, click on browse, and we can see our app service is been running and hosting our application. So we can see that how easy it is to deploy a .NET application in Azure pipelines. In this topic, we will see how to build .NET application with Azure Classic Pipelines. So this is our .NET application. To build a classic pipeline, I will go again to our pipeline section. I will click on new pipeline. Now this time I will use classic editor to create a pipeline without YAML. I will select my repository. I will select a predefined ASP.NET template for this project. I will select this task ASP.NET Core. Click on apply. And we can see I have got all my tasks without any code. I will just rename our pipeline name. Now we can see it is restoring our solution. It is building our code and running some test results, but we don't need this as of now. I will remove this task, and after build we can see it is already publishing our artifact to artifact staging directory, and it is publishing our artifact to pipeline also. So we don't need to add any further tasks. We only need to add some basic details like agent specification. That means which agent you want to use as your build machine. I will select Windows. I will just click on save, and I will run the pipeline. So if you are a beginner or new to Azure DevOps, you can see how easy it is to create a pipeline with the use of Azure Classic Pipelines. You don't have to see any code. All the codes are behind the scenes of Azure Classic Pipelines, and you have to only drag and drop the tasks. So we can see our pipeline has ran successfully and all jobs has been done. We will go to pipeline and check if our artifact has been published to pipeline or not. So this is my classic pipeline, and we can see one file has been published. We can click on the drop container and we can see our zip file has been published, and this zip file consists all my artifacts and the DLL file also. And now we can do the same. We can create a release out of this pipeline and release our zip file or our artifact to an Azure app service. So I hope this session was fruitful for you and you got an understanding how to build and deploy an .NET application in local machine as well as in Azure DevOps. So thank you guys. See you in the next session.